Hi, welcome to our Advent story time. It is December the 2nd. It's a special day and it is our fourth night and our fourth story. This one's about an Advent wreath, and we use an Advent wreath in our church too. I don't know if you've been asked to light a candle on the Advent wreath, but every week in Advent we'll light a new candle. Sometimes your family will be chosen to light the candle, and maybe you will. So let's read about an Advent wreath. Oh, Sally, I'm so glad you're going to celebrate Advent with us tonight, Kathy remarked as the two girls entered the Brandon living room, where they were warmly greeted by Kathy's mother and father and 4-year-old brother John. I've never been to an Advent celebration before, Sally shyly told the family. I don't even know what Advent is. I do, exclaimed little John with excitement. It's a regular Christmas adventure. Everyone laughed. Well, you're right, John, said Mrs. Brandon, and added, I'll explain as we celebrate Advent tonight, Sally. I think you'll understand. A peaceful quiet soon settled through the room as Kathy's mother turned down the lights and lit some candles. First of all, Sally, she said, the word Advent means coming. And for hundreds of years, the Advent season, which is the period beginning 4 Sundays before Christmas, has been the time when people open their hearts day by day to the coming in of the Christmas spirit of joy and peace. Then, on Christmas Eve, they are really ready to welcome the Christ child. In the olden days, Advent celebrations were held only in churches, often with nativity plays, including great processions, splendid costumes, and lots of glitter. But people also wanted a special, quiet, family Advent celebration in their own homes. And of course, many different Advent or pre-Christmas customs arose in different countries, such as storytelling, which we're doing here, often built around Christmas themes pictured in an Advent calendar. Another ancient custom is ringing of the bells, which always seem to say, pay attention, something wonderful is coming. Kathy's mother then rang a small silver bell, and her father recited a little verse called bell ringing. To wonder at beauty, stand guard over truth. Look to the noble, resolve on the good. This leads man truly to the purpose in living, to right in his doing, to peace in his feeling, to lighting in his thinking, and teaches him trust in the working of God, in all that there is, in the width of the world and the depths of the soul. When it was time for the Advent calendar story, Kathy eagerly picked up the brightly colored cardboard calendar. See, Sally, it has 24 little windows, one to be opened for each of the 24 days before Christmas, she explained. You're our guest, so you open tonight's window. Everyone crowded around as Sally opened the window and exclaimed, Why, it's a picture of a green wreath with 4 tall candles. That's an Advent wreath, and here's a real one, said Mrs. Brandon, pointing to a small table which held a lovely fresh evergreen wreath. People have made them for generations, and the Advent wreath, too, has many meanings for different people. Even its 4 candles are symbols. She said as she lighted the first candle, Next week, 2 candles will be lighted. The following week, 3 candles will be lighted. And during the last week before Christmas, all 4 candles will burn side by side. Mrs. Brandon continued, The first candle is called the prophecy candle. It reminds us that centuries before the birth of Christ, wise men who were called prophets, foretold his birth. One prophet named Micah even foretold that Jesus would be born in Bethlehem. The second candle, called the Bethlehem candle, reminds us of the little town of our Savior's birth. We picture Mary and Joseph going wearily from inn to inn. That means hotel to hotel or motel to motel, unable to find a resting place until at last they are led to the shelter of a stable. Then on that holiest of nights, as they rested in the stable, they were with gentle animals, and Mary's son, the baby Jesus, was born. The third candle is named the shepherd's candle, for it is they who came to adore the Christ child and to spread the good news. And the fourth candle is called the angel's candle, to honor angels and the great news they brought to mankind on that wondrous night. Although we may not see them or hear them, it is the angels, even to this day, who will bring God's messages to us in the thoughts of love and peace, joy and goodwill. The Brandons and Sally then sang a lovely Christmas carol, Away in a Manger. After they finished and Mr. Brandon had said a closing prayer, everyone enjoyed a special feeling of warmth and happiness. As Kathy and little John helped put out the candles, Mrs. Brandon remarked, "I hope you liked it and will join us again, Sally." "Oh, yes. Yes, and thank you," Sally exclaimed happily. "It was wonderful. You know, little John is right. Celebrating Advent really is a Christmas adventure." And I hope you're enjoying our adventure. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.